Business Calculus 5.3, problems number 9, 11, 12, and 15. We want to find the area under this curve from 0 to 2 using 4 rectangles. This method is called Riemann sums. So, first thing we're going to do is that we're going to need our delta x for the width of the rectangles. Delta x is made out of b minus a divided by n. In this case, this will be 2 minus 0 all over 4. And that's 1/2. Or you can use 0.5. Either one is okay. Okay, now we need to know what the x is for each of the inputs. That form will be xi will be a plus I times delta x. So x of 0 will be, see, a is 0, so 0 plus I is 0, and delta x is 1/2. And all that equals 0. Then my second rectangle will be made from x1, and that'll be 0 plus I, which is 1, times 1/2. And that'll be 1/2. My third rectangle, the height will be made from x is 2 equals 0 plus 2 times 1/2, and that'll be 1. Next, x3, 0 plus 3 times 1/2, and that will be 3/2. Okay, those are all my x's. Now, we're going to put each one of those x's inside the function to get the height of each rectangle. So f of 0, f of 1/2, f of 1, and f of 3/2. Okay, so when I put 0 into my original function, I'll get -1. I put 1/2 into my original function, I'll get 2 take away 1. 2 take away 1 is 1. When I put 1 into my function, I'll get 4 minus 1, which is 3. And when I put 3/2 into my function, I'll get 6 minus 1, which is 5. Alright, so I'm going to find the sum of these heights. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9, take away 1 is 8. So the sum will be 8. And then we'll multiply it times our delta x here, which is 1/2. And the approximate area here under the graph is 4. Alright, let's do that once again here. Alright, so our delta x for our function f of x will be made from b minus a all over n. b in this case is 2, minus a is -2 all over 4. This will equal 2 plus 2 all over 4, which is 1. So delta x is 1. So we have a total of 4 rectangles. So we'll use the formula. I's will be a plus I times delta x. So I0 or I0 will be -2. That's your a right there. And then plus I, which right now is 0, times delta x, which is 1. This will all equal -2. Okay, then my x1 will be -2 plus 1 times delta x, which is 1. And 1 times 1, that'll give us -1. I2, or x2, should I say, will be -2 plus 2 times 1, and that will be 0. And my fourth x, which is x3, will be -2 plus 3 times 1, and that will be 1. Now we're going to put each of these inside our original function here. So f of -2, f of -1, f of 0, and f of 1. When I put -2 here for x squared, I get 4. When I put -1, I get 1, 0, I get 0, 1, I get 1. Now I'm going to make a summation of all these heights here. 4 plus 1 plus 1, it will be 6. Then I'll multiply it times my delta x, which is 1. And I get approximate area under the curve of 6. using Riemann sums. Okay, next. Number 12. Number 12, once again, delta x will equal b minus a all over n. In this case, this will be 5 minus 1 all over 4. And this will end up being 1. Okay, so xi will equal a plus I delta x. The reason why I write these formulas down each time is to help me memorize them. And you need to have them memorized for the test. So a is going to be 1 plus 0 times delta x, which is 1. And that's going to equal 1. x1 is going to be 1 plus 1 times 1, which is 2. x2 is going to be 1 plus 2 times 1, which is 3. And x3 will be 1 plus 3 times 1, which is 4. Okay. And now we're going to put each of those into the function f. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. And now the sum of all those heights, it's a bad looking summation sign, will be 20 plus 10, which is 30, times the height, which is, sorry, the width will be delta x, which is 1. So approximately 30 units, square units. Okay, this one will need the help of the calculator because we have an e to the negative x, and I'll show you how to handle that. Alright, so my delta x we made out of b minus a divided by n. In this case, this will be 10 minus 0 all over 5, and that equals 2. So we got 5 to go for. So xi equals a plus I delta x. So my first x, x0 or x naught, will equal 0 plus 0 times 2. That'll be 0. Then my second x, x1, will be 0 plus 1 times 2, and that will equal, let's see, 2, and x2 will equal 0 plus 2 times 2, which equals 4. x3 will equal 0 plus 3 times 2, which equals 6. And x4, it will be 0 plus 4 times 2, and that'll be 8. And those are my 8 numbers I need to put in here for E. So f of 0, f of 2, f of 4, f of 6, and f of 8. Alright, calculator to the rescue on this one. Okay, on this one I'm going to type in e to the negative x power. In fact, I already have it there. And I'm going to hit trace, and it's going to allow me to put these numbers in. So I'm going to type in 0 and then enter, and I got on my screen that equals 1. Then I'm going to enter 2, and I get 0.135, and let's say 4, I get 0.018, 6, I get 0.00, let's see, I need to back these up a little bit, to 5, let's go back to 4 and get a few more decimal places, 8, 3, and let's go back to 2 and get a couple more decimal places, it's 5 and 3, and so now for 8, we get 0.000 and then a 3. Okay, we're going to add all these up. 3, 6, 9 plus 5 is 14. 1 over here gives me 16. And 1 over here gives me 3, 4, 5. And that's a 1.1. And so that's the sum of all my heights times 2. Let's see, when I double this, I'll get 8, 12, 11, 3, and 0.2. Alright, so this is my approximate area right here.